Hello everyone, today we are talking about all the people executed in 2022, part 2. I posted part 1 back in August, so now that 2022 has ended, we can go ahead and see what the rest of the executed prisoners did, what were their last meals, and last words. John Henry Ramirez was executed on October 5, 2022 at 38 years old after spending 18 years on death row in the state of Texas. Pablo Castro, a 46-year-old convenience store employee, was killed on July 19, 2004 outside the Times Market in Corpus Christi, Texas, by 20-year-old John Henry Ramirez, a former United States Marine. Castro was killed by Ramirez's total of 29 stab wounds. Another two females participated in the crime. Castro was robbed of less than $2 by the group, who then fled the area without going inside the shop. The two female friends were apprehended the following day, but Ramirez escaped to Mexico and wasn't found until 2008. Soon after being found guilty of murder, he was given the death penalty. His final words were, "I just want to say to the family of Pablo Castro, I appreciate everything that y'all did to try and communicate with me through the Victims Advocacy Program. I tried to reply back, but there is nothing that I could have said or done that would have helped you. I have regret and remorse. This is such a heinous act. I hope this finds you comfort. If this helps you, then I'm glad. I hope in some shape or form this helps you find closure. To my wife, my friends, my son, Grasshopper, Dana and homies, I love y'all. Just know that I fought a good fight and I'm ready to go. I'm ready, Warden." He did not get to choose his last meal, and that's because the state of Texas does not offer this benefit to death row inmates anymore. I'll tell you all the story of how this came to happen a little bit later in the video. Benjamin Robert Cole Sr. was executed on October 20th, 2022 at 57 years old after spending 20 years on death row in the state of Oklahoma. Brianna Cole, a 9-month-old child of Benjamin Cole, was killed on December 20th, 2002. The state medical examiner reported that Brianna's aorta had been fully torn and her spine had been broken in half as a result of intentional straining. Spinal fracture and aortic laceration were listed as the official causes of death. Later, Benjamin Cole acknowledged being the cause of the fatal wounds. In a statement to police, he claimed that he had been attempting in vain to calm the crying baby who was lying on her stomach. Eventually, he grabbed his daughter by the ankles and pushed her legs inward till she overturned. The child had a deadly broken back as a result of his conduct. He then went on to play video games and acted like nothing was wrong. His final speech was a 2-minute religious rant that included a prayer for Jesus and phrases like, "Choose Jesus while you still can," "Keep your eyes peeled," "Accept my spirit," and "Be ready at all times." Cole was offered a special religious meal consisting of a vegetarian lasagna, salad, tortilla, and a fruit drink after declining a conventional last meal. Tracy Lane Beatty was executed on November 9, 2022 at 61 years old after spending 19 years on death row in the state of Texas. Beatty was found guilty of capital murder in August 2004 for the 2003 slaying of his mother, Carolyn Click, 62 years old. According to court documents, Beatty provided authorities with a number of different accounts of the events leading up to the death of his mother, but in the end he stated that he had come home drunk, they had gotten into a dispute, and he had choked her. He claimed that he realized he murdered his mother only the next day. Months before Click's passing, Beatty was paroled out of prison. His past criminal accusations included attacking an 18-month-old infant and hurting a jail officer, according to the prosecution during the trial. His last words were, "Yes, I just want to thank... I don't want to leave you, baby. See you when you get there. I love you. Thank you to all my brothers back in the unit for all the encouragement to help get my life right. Sonny, Blue, I love you, brothers. See you on the other side." No last meal granted, as he was executed in Texas. Murray Hooper, executed on November 16, 2022 at 76 years old after spending 41 years on death row in the state of Arizona. Hooper was found guilty in 1982 of participating in the 1980 New Year's Eve killings of William Patrick Redmond, 46 years old, and his 70-year-old mother-in-law, Helen Genevieve Phelps. On December 31, 1980, Patrick Redmond's Phoenix house was visited by William Bracey, Hooper, and Edward McCall, a former police officer in Phoenix. Redmond, his wife Marilyn, and his mother-in-law Helen Phelps were preparing for a New Year's Eve celebration when Bracey, Hooper, and McCall entered the home and forcibly escorted the Redmonds and Phelps into the master bedroom. The burglars handcuffed and gagged the victims after stealing their valuables and cash. They sliced Mr. Redmond's throat and shot each victim in the head. Redmond and Phelps passed away as a result of their injuries, but Redmond's widow was alive and later identified the three murderers. Hooper's final words were, "It's all been said, let it be done. To all my lawyers and loved ones, don't be sad for me. Don't cry, don't say goodbye. Say, I'll see you later. Let's go." His last meal was KFC, mac and cheese, cheesecake, and ice cream. Stephen Dale Barbee, executed on November 16, 2022 at 55 years old, after spending 18 years on death row in the state of Texas. Barbee received a death sentence for the 2005 slayings of his pregnant ex-girlfriend Lisa Underwood and her son Jaden, then 7 years old. Court documents state that Barbee first admitted to killing them during a police interview because he was afraid Underwood would inform his wife that he was probably the father of her unborn child and that he would have to pay child support. He later changed his mind, saying that the confession was the result of coercion and terror, according to his attorney, and he has since maintained his innocence. His last words were, "I want to take this moment to be shared with everyone to give God all the glory of our love, peace, wisdom, kindness, and respect. God knows the truth. He is the truth, the way, and the life. I don't want this to be a sad moment for all my friends and loved ones. God gave his blood and died in 3 days for the glory and grace for all of us that will serve him in eternity. I want to thank all the field ministers for doing a good job of changing people and teaching the word of God. It's a different place now. Thank you, minister, and my brothers. I love them. I also want to thank the field ministers that helped me get through this. I want everyone to have peace in their heart that only Jesus can give us. I love you, Jennifer, Ashley, and Fabio. Thank you for everything. Thank you, brother. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready, Warden. Send me home. I just want everyone to have peace in their heart, make eternity with Jesus, give him the glory in everything you do. I'm ready." No final meal was granted as he was on Texas death row. Richard Stephen Fairchild was executed on November 17, 2022 at 63 years old after spending 30 years on death row in the state of Oklahoma. Adam Broomhall, just 3 years old, died as a consequence of brain injury after his mother's live-in boyfriend, Richard Stephen Fairchild, threw him against the vertical surface of a drop-leaf table's folded down wing. Stacy Broomhall, Adam's mother, was sleeping in the bedroom when the murder happened early on Sunday, November 14, 1993. Later that morning, Adam passed away without ever coming to. Fairchild had been residing with Stacy and her 3 kids. Adam awoke that morning screaming and got out of bed. Adam's upper lip was broken when Fairchild urged him to shut it up and punched him in the mouth. Adam's sobbing was still going strong. Then Fairchild pressed Adam's buttocks and chest against a hot wall heater. Adam's bottom and chest were severely burned in a second-degree grid pattern. Adam's eardrum was torn open by yet another blow. The little boy stopped screaming and breathing after he was thrown against the dining table. His last words included an apology to Adam's mother and grandmother. "Today is a day for Adam, justice for Adam. I've lived 29 years with this. I'm thankful I found my faith in God. I'm at peace with God. Don't grieve for me because I'm going home to be with my Heavenly Father." His final meal consisted in 2 quarter-pounder cheeseburgers, a large chips, pumpkin pie, a pint of chocolate ice cream, and large Coke. Kevin Johnson Jr. was executed on November 29, 2022 at 37 years old after spending 18 years on death row in the state of Missouri. William McEntee and other police officers were searching for Kevin Johnson on July 5, 2005 due to an alleged violation of his probation. Johnson's 12-year-old brother, Bam Bam, started suffering a seizure as they were searching Johnson's home. Johnson's family was unable to give him help because of the police, and he ultimately passed away in the hospital. Johnson therefore put the blame on the police, holding them partially accountable for the passing of his younger brother. Sergeant William McEntee, one of those policemen, returned to the area that evening. He was 43 years old. Since he was closer to the scene, he had offered to take an officer's fireworks complaint. Johnson suddenly started shooting at McEntee, striking him many times. After driving for a short distance, McEntee crashed, causing him to exit the vehicle. Johnson approached and shot him once more. Later, McEntee passed away in a hospital. Johnson had no final words before his execution, and he also declined a final meal. Thomas Edwin Loden Jr. was executed on December 14, 2022, at 58 years old, after spending 23 years on death row in the state of Mississippi. Lisa Marie Gray, 16 years old, was taken hostage by Thomas Loden in the late evening of June 22, 2000. Loden essayed Lisa over the course of the following 4 hours, videotaping some of the heinous crimes before suffocating and manually strangling her to death. Loden said he got angry when Miss Gray allegedly said she would never want to be a Marine, and then he forced her into his van. According to court documents, Loden was found laying by the side of the road with the words "I'm sorry" cut into his chest and apparent self-inflicted lacerations on his wrists on the afternoon of June 23, 2000. His last words were, "For the past 20 years, I've tried to do a good deed every single day to make up for the life I took from this world. I know these are mere words and cannot erase the damage I did. If today brings you nothing else, I hope you get peace and closure." His last meal included 2 bone-in fried pork chops, fried okra, a baked sweet potato with butter, Pillsbury Grand's biscuits with butter and molasses, peach cobbler with French vanilla ice cream, and Lipton sweet tea. Earlier in the video, I told you guys I'll clarify what's up with the no last meal policy for Texas death row inmates. Well, it turns out that this was all because of an inmate that ordered a huge last meal, then when he got it, he said he wasn't hungry. This prisoner we are talking about was Lawrence Brewer. He asked for a bowl of fried okra with ketchup, 2 chicken steaks with gravy and onions, a cheese omelette with ground beef, jalapenos and bell peppers, a triple meat bacon cheeseburger, 3 fajitas, 1 pound of barbecue, and a half loaf of white bread, pizza meat lovers special, 1 pint of homemade vanilla blue ice cream, 1 slab of peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts, and 3 root beers. John Whitmire, who was Texas senator at the time, made the decision of ending the last meal tradition. All death row inmates eat whatever the rest of the prisoners eat. That was it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you like my channel. See you next time. Bye bye.